We should be live.
And if we're not, too bad.
2019 Fantasy Football Mock Drafts. This is our third one here at Fantasy Footballers Down Under.
We're going to get better with time.
And as always, we're just going to sit on our little draft page to start. We're starting up the stream. It's looking good. We are live 5 seconds in. Just going to double check the audio. This is our third one here. We are set. Audio is... Oh, fuck. What do I do? We should be live. Oh, shit.
It's a little broken.
Nah, we're chilling. I think we're good.
Sweet.
I think.
It's a bit delayed.
We're good. Alright. Zab, you have the first pick in today's draft. I will be drafting from the 5. Our mate over here, big Joshy boy, he will be drafting from the 7. And we have another mate at his place drafting from the 8. We are all in the same fantasy league. Josh is currently our reigning last place champion.
Hold it up.
With his little trophy that he's trying to taint my bedroom with.
I just saw your bedroom with
the little last place trophy. Who's the reigning champion? Rowan is.
Rowan is the reigning
Our
champion.
commissioner is currently the reigning champion at the moment.
Also refused to come on a show. He's refused.
Refusing. Our commissioner is refusing.
He's Kaepernicking our show and I don't know why.
He's taking a kneel. So, just a standard weekly fantasy football mock. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different this week purely for the fact that everything's kind of changed a bit in the last week. There's been a lot of news.
It has.
There's the news of Melvin Gordon, a couple other players. Michael Thomas hasn't shown up to training camp.
Zeke
Elliott hasn't shown up to training camp. There's a lot of news going on. As you can tell, they've got the old suspended symbol next to them here because they haven't shown up to training camp. So let's start the draft. Zab, you'll be drafting from the 1 this week.
Yep. Like last week, said it was going from the 1, and I think my pick has been made a lot easier.
Were you considering Elliott?
No. No, this pick, it's kind of confirmed. I was almost looking at, not picking from the 1, going from the 2 or the 3, looking at Kamara. But now that it's come to fruition that all of the wide receivers in New York are dead.
They are dead. Did you know about that? Did you know every New York wide receiver's dead?
I did know that.
Corey Coleman blew his ACL.
Yep.
Golden Tate's got a 4-game suspension pending.
Correct.
Evan Ingram's prize recruit.
Evan Ingram should be who you're targeting.
Sweet.
But it makes all the sense in the world. I'll be taking Saquon.
Saquon Barkley going at the 1. Kamara goes ahead of Elliott. McCaffrey goes at 4. I'm sitting here at 5, and pretty much every draft at the moment, I take Hopkins in the first round. I don't see how he could be bad. I was actually looking before, and last year for the Texans, Hopkins had 120 catches.
Yep.
The next highest for Houston was 32.
Yes.
Which was Fuller. And he only played 7 games.
And Kiki played 6 games.
Kiki played
30
6
touches as
correct.
well.
So I think with those players back, not only it might take a few targets away from Hopkins, but it's not going to take. I think it actually helps him when it comes to the red zone. I think it actually helps him when it comes to coverage on the field. He had 115 catches, and his number 2 receiver was DeAndre Carter.
Yeah. And what was his catch rate? Like 75%?
Huge. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
It was above 70. So look at our mate over here, just looking at the draft board, or he's messaging one of the 2.
He's getting ready to make a trash pick.
Exactly.
This is his second mock draft. Second mock draft this year.
Second mock draft this year.
So
I've not done a whole lot of research.
What we're going to do is we're going to let him pick his player, and then we're going to talk about
how
bad his pick is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Hopkins here at the 5. Devontae Adams goes at the 6, and now you are on the clock at the 7.
Beautiful.
David Johnson, Lev Bell, still the 2 elite running backs that are on the board here. Gordon's obviously dropped off.
Are you concerned?
About?
Your second round pick who you love to take, there are now 2 extra chances that he won't get back to you.
I'm not concerned.
Not concerned.
I am not concerned. The addition of Tyreek Hill into the mix of people being picked is really helping me out with my strategy. Julio Jones goes early at the 1.7. Very early for Julio.
Now, we are very hopeful that our friend does not use the whole 59 minutes to take the pick. Otherwise, this becomes an 8-hour show.
He doesn't. So Josh over here takes Julio Jones. Very early for Julio.
Like in the first round.
Le'Veon goes before David Johnson, except our mate is a Le'Veon truther. Loves Le'Veon Bell. My concern for Le'Veon Bell is the fact that the Jets have the hardest schedule for the first 8 games of the year. And if he bombs, Le'Veon Bell is going to be a very cheap person to trade for coming into about week 8. Julio Jones, on the other hand, Julio can go anywhere in the first, realistically. The only issue I have with drafting Julio at 1.7 is that coming back now, it's actually worked out pretty well. Getting Mixon and Cook.
Oh, He's taken his other favourite player.
The only good thing I like here is that Mixon and Dalvin Cook, I both believe, can finish above Bell and David Johnson. So the Julio pick, I don't actually mind. Getting an elite wide receiver at pick 107, it's not too bad. I've seen worse things done. Mate, then we go around, we go David Johnson, James Conner go at 09, 010. Odell goes at 11. Tyreek goes at the end of the first. Michael Thomas following that. Melvin Gordon still going in the second round, but that will continue to plummet over the next coming weeks. Juju at 203. Gurley at 204. Our mate Bevan has taken Mike Evans at 205, very early, ahead of players. There's actually not really any people that I would take. That's a good spot for Evans. I think the Joe Mixon and Dalvin Cook dropping here are really... Those receivers are kind of going early, which really shows why fucking Brown has gone at 206. The player that I take in every single mock draft.
Now, let it be known, I never gave him any advice. I never told him the name
I
of the player.
feel like you did.
I feel like I did.
Behind my back. You said, did he say to you to take Brown?
Mate, after I know that you take Brown every draft that we've done so far, I was just like...
Have I at any point told you he takes Antonio Brown?
No. You told me himself last week.
Oh.
He did mock draft.
That is true.
Yeah.
He shot himself in the foot.
Antonio Brown at 206, I think, is potentially one of the biggest values
strategies crumbled
in the whole draft. My strategy is not
tilting hard.
It has not crumbled because the value of getting Joe Mixon at 208 is ridiculous.
It is quite stupid.
He could be a top 3 runner. He should be a first round running back. I would 100% take Mixon right now ahead of Gurley, Melvin Gordon, and James Conner. James Conner's unproven. He got injured last year. He's a very injury-prone bloke. Melvin Gordon might not play half the year. Todd Gurley also has the knees of an 80-year-old.
Well, it's your turn to pick him, so...
So Mixon's going to go to me at pick 208.
Dalvin, Nick Chubb, Damian Williams, and I'm on the clock.
You are back on the clock.
And if you think about it, me taking Antonio is a good pick because I'm following your advice.
You are.
Exactly.
You're taking my advice, and I
learning
think
from
Antonio
watching.
Brown could be a freak this year.
Exactly.
I now know that if I draft at 5 in our league, I'm not going to get Antonio Brown if you're behind me. That was the one negative thing about doing this show, which is what I said, is you guys are going to watch it, and then I'm going to lose everything I want to do. A lot of the running backs are now gone off the board. The only elite running backs I would say that are left now are probably Aaron Jones and Marlon Mack. Some people really like to take Fournette. I'm not one of them. But the elite Mixon, Cook, Chubb, and Williams going all at the end of the second is relatively late for those sort of running backs. Kelsey went 207 as well, which we didn't mention, which is quite late for Travis Kelsey. I feel like this draft is being pushed back a little bit. Everyone's being pushed back because of the early Bell and the early James Conner and the very early Julio. So you are on the clock.
I'm on the clock.
What are we thinking?
I'm thinking a lot of things. I'm thinking no Patrick Mahomes for me today because
He's there.
he is there, but no, I'm going to be taking quarterback later on. I'm also not a fan of doing a double team stack, so I'm looking at T.Y. Hilton and Marlon Mack and going, that's tempting.
Very tempting.
But I'm not going to do that.
No, I would not.
So here's what I'm going to do.
What's back-to-back here for you, mate? T.Y. in the second, end of the second. I really like T.Y.
Nice, mate.
Keenan Allen, another elite receiver going
I'm
at
happy with those
301.
PPR machines, those two.
You wouldn't have maybe put Thielen ahead of Allen?
No, I see with the the Melvin Gordon situation
Keenan
having
Allen,
an impact.
bulk more targets?
Baltimore targets.
Now, Aaron Jones goes at 302. Marlon Mack at 303, which I'm devastated about. Leonard Fournette at 304. Now, that sits me here, and I'm looking down at the draft board right now. Derrick Henry is the next best. I'm not going to take Mahomes. Henry's the next best available. Thielen, AJ Green. I don't know if you both know. You would have. I don't know if you saw that AJ Green got carted off from practice this morning.
Hang
Did not see
on.
that.
What did he hurt?
Fuck if I know.
No.
Probably his knee.
Close.
His
foot.
foot
Again.
sprained.
Yeah.
They've said before MRIs that another sprained ankle for AJ Green, so he got carted off the
I
field this
probably
morning.
wouldn't be looking at Derrick Henry because he was also taken off the practice field with some injury that they have not
So
specified
I'm sitting here
yet.
now at 305, and there's one person here that's just going to fall to me, and it probably won't fall to me in this position in the actual draft, but it's your boy, Kerryon Johnson.
That's a reach.
Kerryon Johnson, 305, with Theoretic gone. I don't think it is a reach. It was either between him or Devonta Freeman. Carry on at 305 now. That's the lowest it's going to be. Carry on will be, by the
Much
time
higher.
the end of preseason happens, carry on will be in the second round.
Only concern I have is who's now his backup, not Zenner. You know who his backup is?
Who is his backup now? C.J. Anderson. The big fella. I think, regardless of whether Theoretti was there, they brought C.J. Anderson in to run the ball, but 250 carries to carry on Johnson. Give C.J. Anderson 100. I'm still going to take 250 carries for a third round running back, 100%.
Jish has taken Derrick Henry.
Big Dezza. Unfortunately, Derrick Henry this morning was in a moon boot.
Oh, it's fine. It's only a mock.
Then we have Cooper off the board. Thielen, AJ Green, Zach Ertz, Stephon Diggs, Mahomes, first pick of the 4th round.
That's
David Montgomery.
Very late for Mahomes.
George Kittle, Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs going there at 404 is a huge pickup.
Let's real quick before he picks. Let's have a guess. Who's he going to pick? Looking at the board, who's he going to pick?
Brandon Cooks.
I'm going to go... He might jump and take Andrew Luck.
I say, we're just going to guess here. I'm going to say Cooks.
Who's he taking?
He loves Cooks, we know that.
I reckon he loves Cooks. Although he might need a running back, so he actually might look ahead and take someone like Drake. Unless he's actually watching right now, which he could potentially
What up,
be.
mate?
Which he could potentially be watching and not going to take the players that we say.
Khalil Mack in the 4th.
Just quickly go through it. You took Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is in a moon boot. He then took Amari Cooper after that, did Bevan. And Bevan, with Amari Cooper, it's a very volatile pick. He's going to score 40. He's going to score 3. I don't want to touch him, but he's going to have huge weeks. So you can't really argue with a player that's going to have huge weeks in the 3rd. I was right with him. He did take Cooks.
Julian Edelman, Philip Lindsay. You love yourself some Julian Edelman, and that's not just because you're a Pats fan.
It's because he's going to catch a lot of fucking balls, bro.
Edelman this year, the only issue I have with your current draft right now is you've drafted Derrick Henry, who's currently in a moon boot, and then you've drafted Julian Edelman, who's currently got a broken thumb.
Don't worry. Broken thumb takes 2 weeks to heal. Moon Boot's got 6 weeks till season starts.
It's the injury all-stars.
The injury all-stars here.
Will be sweet.
Also, Antonio Brown's not to training yet either.
They'll be fine.
And Julio's not going to score a touchdown until week 9.
They will be fine.
So I'm sitting on the clock here, 4:08. I got me 2 running backs. I need another receiver. There's only one receiver on the board here that I really, really like, and I would be more than happy to take in every draft in the 4th round. Mr. Consistent, Mr. PPR, Mr. Overpowered, high-powered offense.
Oh my god, he's taking Calvin Ridley.
It's Mr. Roberto Woods.
Good pick.
He's a monster.
Kenny.
Sonny Michelle goes after
no.
that. Mr. Injury. Kenny Golladay. The smooth routes of Kenny Golladay. Mark Ingram, who I loathe. I hate Ingram.
Not a fan.
In every draft. No one wants a running back from Baltimore at 4:11. And you're on the clock again. On the turn, another 2 picks. Probably looking at running back.
I am, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing in the running back kind of pool.
Well, Kenyon Drake is sitting there at the first running back available, and
yeah, but have you?
And I saw the
Have you
news
heard
that
the
Ballage
news?
is getting all the first team reps.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Josh?
What's that?
Kenyon Drake didn't even practice with the first team today.
Oh, there you go.
He
And
was on about 2
Ballage.
hours afterwards.
So they gave Ballage a lot of the first team snaps.
I genuinely don't like any of the running backs I have here.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I'm not a fan of any of them.
This is the point for you where I would probably jump on
I'll
quarterbacks.
just point out that mock teams 2 and 4 taking 4 running backs each.
That's the one thing about Sleeper.
Is they tend to
The
take...
realism isn't quite there all the time.
Yes. So the thing is, like, also running team 12 has 3 receivers and a quarterback.
Yeah.
They just don't care about running backs.
So, whatever. It evens itself out with that
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
You know what? I am going to definitely reach on this, Ash. I don't feel too blare in picking this player. It is a jump because he will not come back to me. He's a starting running back for a team.
Ugh, I know who it is.
Yeah, and looking at that, I don't see anyone who's going to outdo him.
How far down? Oh, I've got to
He's
go pretty
picked-
far
he's
down.
picked
66.
Yeah. I honestly just...
Missed up. Maybe you could do this and then just go quick turnaround for the stack. The quarterback, running back stack. Lamar Miller goes at pick 412. And I was just saying to these blokes before the draft even started that Lamar Miller last year had 210 carries for the Houston Texans. Alfred Blue, who was the backup last year, had 150 carries. And he's gone this year. He's in Jacksonville. So Deontay Foreman last year was not efficient with his carries. He stays really inefficient with his carries. Lamar Miller is really looking like a kind of bloke that could carry the ball 250, 260 times.
He could.
And although he's very inefficient, and so is Foreman, and so is Blue, the carry is going to be there because Bill O'Brien just loves to give the ball to the running back.
Someone's got to carry the ball.
The only thing that I thought that would change in Houston's situation this year, and that still might happen, is I do have the slightest of feelings that Houston could go get Melvin Gordon.
I have heard things about that.
But
Are you confident?
I don't think we will.
No.
Well, considering we don't have a general manager.
Yeah, no, that doesn't help.
Josh, what do you think?
Old mate Bill.
Melvin Gordon, could he get signed to the Texans before the season starts? It's the only team that makes sense for Melvin Gordon to go to because we have so much cap space and very inefficient running backs.
Well, then it makes sense, doesn't it, bro?
But the issue is we don't have a general manager because we tried to snipe the Patriots general manager and then they sued us. So then we got rid of our general manager and now we just say we're not going to have one.
That's why the Texans are dirty fuckers.
All right. I am not liking what I'm seeing on the board, but I have more faith in the mid-tier wide receivers than I do in the mid-tier running backs, which is why I took Lamar Miller. And I'm not a fan of a stack, so I will not be taking Andrew Luck, unfortunately. Means I will also not be taking Deshaun Watson.
Correct.
So I'll be taking
Aaron Rodgers goes off the board before Andrew Luck at 501. Kenyon Drake, Mr. Backup, goes at 502. Chris Godwin, who Bruce Arians said, will not come off the field ever. That's what he said about Chris Godwin.
So he's playing special teams defense.
Correct.
He's a referee.
Correct. Chris Godwin is never coming off the field.
That is a big, big load for him.
Andrew Luck goes at 504. I'm now here at 505 on the clock. 2 running backs.
That's a good team.
2 receivers. This is the point where I really like a lot of... This is the point where I really, really like a lot of the receivers, but I feel like they can get back to me. The running backs, Chris Carson, I hate. Mike Williams, I'm not really liking any of the running backs here right now. I'm not really liking any of the receivers. Chris Carson I would take, but I don't want to purely because it's a mock draft. I really, really like the quarterback wide receiver stack in every draft, so I'm going to pull the trigger again and take Deshaun Watson in round 5.
Oofed.
Chris Carson goes after that. Jish is on the clock. Let's just go through his team really quick. Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, Mr. Moonboot Henry, and Mr. One Hand Edelman. Mate, Cooper Kupp's there. There's some more injured players on the board. If you want to continue the hospital team.
I heard Alex Smith was available.
Alex Smith has one leg. He's available. Darius Geis down here with the fucked hamstring. He's available.
Hunter Henry's coming off an injury.
It will be okay.
So you're probably looking at running back realistically right now. If we have a look at running backs, I'm not gonna. I don't want my guesses to persuade you, but right now, I think the running back that you're probably sitting here and looking at for best value at this position is no one. But if I had to take a running back in this position right now, like,
I'm looking down the board.
I'm looking at probably James White, but you have Edelman, which is annoying.
No big deal.
If you want to risk it, I mean, Tevin Coleman is there.
Coleman is there, who could potentially be a starter, or the powerhouse Tariq Cohen. But this is why I really like grabbing my 2 running backs and 2 receivers in the first 4 rounds. Because I feel like the depth at running back for your 3rd running back really drops off. I really like James White, though. The only issue I have with James White is the fact that you have Edelman, but...
Doesn't mean I have to start him.
Doesn't mean you have to start him, but I think White's a really good pickup. Okay. Bevan now sitting on the clock, and if we all take guesses who Bevan's going to pick again, I would sit here right now and say he's probably either going to take Williams. No, he's only got 1 running back. He's probably taking a running back, realistically.
He could take Tevin Coleman. He probably won't.
I think he really likes Tariq Cohen. Or he's going to go down here and take one of the Philly backs.
Because he is a Philly man.
So Sanders or Cohen, I think, are probably his 2 best gets. I don't think he'll go for Sanders purely because that's a fucking huge reach.
And again, that's the issue in taking more of one position in the first few rounds than the other. You are left high and dry on occasion.
What you got to go check in this little chat here? Joe Mixon going to be a top 5 running back. That's what Bevan said. I agree. And the fact that I got him at 208 is huge. Huge.
Goes with Mike Williams. He's back on the clock.
I said Mike Williams, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. At this point, he needs another running back.
Cooper Kupp goes off the board after that. Tevin Coleman. Finally, someone took the rubbish San Francisco backfield. Tyler Boyd, whose value went up enormously with the AJ Green news. Tyler Lockett, Mr. Regression. Calvin Ridley. Rashad Penny, who probably will split carries almost 50-50, I'd say, with Chris Carson. Alshon Jeffrey. Baker goes off the board at 6:04. Very early for Mr. Mayfield today.
What is Bevan thinking?
Bevan here really looking like he needs a running back. And this is the fun thing about doing drafts right now with your mates. You kind of get an idea of what they like.
You just take down some notes.
Take down a couple notes.
Loves this player. Won't stand this player.
We know that Josh is always going to draft injured players and Patriots.
So
that's your draft strategy.
I guess
how it goes.
we better just avoid the injured players just to be safe.
Avoid injuries.
We don't want to
take your players.
We'll let you have them.
Mate, I won the league twice in that strategy.
You've also come last 3 times.
That's good those years. I wasn't paying much attention.
That's the reason you have that trophy.
If there's anything, I reckon this year there is a high probability that Josh come last again.
That's not surprising.
Considering the rest of our league components, I don't think so.
He still has one running back.
Mr. Philly takes Mr. Carson Wentz. Evan Engram goes off the board after that to Josh. I like that pick. DJ Moore, Carolina's number 1. Potentially, I really like Curtis Samuel. And I'm on the clock.
A couple of nice tight ends coming up for you.
Don't like any of the tight ends yet. I'm sitting here. There's receivers on the board that I really like. I'm happy to reach. I hate Jarvis Landry. My boy is sitting down here, Robbie Anderson, who I take a lot as well. I really like Robbie Anderson. Tariq Cohen goes after that. OJ Howard, all the big tight ends coming off the board in this mid-round.
This is an absolute no-brainer.
Landry goes off the board.
You know who I'm going to take. You know 100% who I'm going to take.
Yes, however, are you going to go with him first pick or second pick?
Put it this way, I don't have to worry about anything not coming back to me.
True. Well, we obviously know Pettis is going to be one of your picks. Do you follow it up with the Hunter Henry train? We know you love Hunter Henry.
I do love... So, yeah, I had Hunter in his rookie year, and he was a good pick. And you've kind of just taken away all the stuff I was going to say. Yes, it is time for a tight end.
Hunter Henry.
It is time for a PPR machine tight end. Loves a catch. He pushed Antonio Gates right out of that team.
The only issue I have is tight ends that come off injuries, man. Like,
I know.
tight ends don't usually perform that great, especially rookie tight ends. Rookie tight ends. He hasn't played his rookie year. So,
if you look at the tight end list, there is a definite kind of jump.
There is a different
from Henry
tier.
To the Ebron,
To the next tier.
Vance McDonald, Njoku, Austin Hooper. I'm looking at that going, I'm not a fan of any of that.
Okay.
Hawkinson with his 4-game suspension. Delaney Walker with his walking stick.
All right.
So I think Hunter Henry will be great on my team. And he is there. Guys, Matty Ryan, Darrell Henderson.
Darrell Henderson goes off the board. Missed the Todd Gurley's backup. Darius the Juice goes off the board. I'm sitting here. Robbie Anderson in my fucking team, which is beautiful. Roberto Woods, DeAndre Hopkins, Joe Mixon, and carry on with Deshaun Watson at the helm. I'm very happy with this team so far.
What are you thinking?
Currently, right now, Ebron's still there. I don't really like. Latavius Murray, for me, is a value. Murray in the 7th is essentially going to do Ingram's role from last year.
Yep.
He's going to get 150 balls on the ground. He's a very good running back. I really do think that Latavius Murray could have a really good year and potentially vulture touchdowns. Take a lot of the goal line work. And in the 7th round, I don't think you can go wrong. So Latavius Murray is going to be all mine.
Good call.
Drew Brees goes off the board after that. Josh, you are back on the board.
Walk us through. What are you thinking?
Have a walkthrough. Let us know, mate. What's going through your mind right now?
Never mind, he took the player already.
All right, then. Let's have a look. Allen Robinson. What do you think about Allen Robinson, mate?
He's my 4th receiver.
What do you think about him?
Yeah, he does okay.
Yeah?
Can I be Josh's mind for a second?
Sure.
I don't care anymore. They're all injured. I'll just take them all.
Once again, taking another injured player there, Josh.
Exactly.
David Njoku goes off the board. Ebron, Kyler Murray, your mate.
My mate, Well, I'm kind of sad I didn't take, but
Cammy Newton goes off the board. Will injury Fuller, followed by Miles Sanders, Lizard Man Watkins.
the Rolls Royce
The Rolls Royce. The really shit Ronald Jones II.
and a steal
I'm still in the 8th round of Austin Eckler.
if Melvin Gordon doesn't come back.
If Melvin doesn't come back. Which, for now, we are going to assume that he's not. So, Austin, let's just let him know. Eckler, great get in the 8th. Lamar Miller is shit. I didn't see that.
Hang on, I need to respond. Chat.
Fight me. Virtual punch-ons here in the live mock draft. Fight me, he's great. What are you thinking, Jish?
What am I thinking?
What are you thinking here with this pick?
What
What are you looking at?
possibly backup running back.
Yeah, for Josh's team, you know what's better than an injury? An 8-game suspension.
Oh,
Kareem's on the board.
Kareem Hunt's on the board with that cheeky 8-game suspension. Nearly as good as an injury.
Or do I just keep stacking my receivers?
Well, you're coming into a quite a purple patch for young receivers.
You are.
I'm
This is
looking
the
down.
big area. This is the Geronimo Allison.
This is the Cortland Sutton, Valdez Scantling.
Yes.
Like, this is a good space to be in.
Christian Kirk.
Dante Moncrief.
Sterling Shepard. He's an injured receiver you might really like. Sterling Shepard.
No, I had him last year. Wasn't a fan.
Devontae Parker, not injured, just trash.
Like a Domino's pizza. I think that's our show's marquee thing at the moment.
Players that are like a Domino's pizza.
Just Devonta Parker. He is the NFL's Domino's pizza.
You know why I loved him in the first place, though? He's going to have Fitzpatrick thrown to it.
Yes.
And look what Fitzpatrick did with Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, he took Christian Kirk off the board. One of the unproven young Arizona receivers that's going to have Kyler Murray.
Off the board.
Hunt goes off the board. I'm sitting here. 3 receivers, 3 backs, a quarterback.
You need a tight end.
The 8th round, if I can continuously get Vance McDonald in the 8th round,
That's a steal.
I will win so many leagues. So many leagues.
Are we doing the Vance dance?
The Vance dance is happening. Oh yeah. Vance McDonald in the 8th is a steal. Mr. Broken Thumb goes after it. Mr. Who Knows Who's Starting goes after that in Jordan Howard. Jared Oldman Cook goes after that, and you are on the clock at the turn again. 8-12 and 9-01.
Because I don't have enough young receivers, I'm going to go get some more.
Grab some more.
Here we go.
Cortland Sutton, I'm assuming, is going off the board. Who are you going to follow Sutton up with? Marquez,
Valdez Scantling.
Geronimo Allison, Marvin Jones. Good 4 receivers go off the board there. Russ goes off the board. Danger Russell Wilson. A lot of the big quarterbacks starting to go off the board now.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here. What do we got here? 3 receivers, 3 running backs, quarterback, tight end. I think it's really good this late in drafts to always just hit up.
Camera's looking at the light.
Oh, what?
Bevan says, check the thing. He says that's our stream at the moment.
Interesting.
You want to check the thing? Yep.
What's happening?
How long has that been like that?
That is not ideal.
It's an audio podcast!
Is that all we can see?
Audio podcast only, but why are we black, boys? Why are we black? This is not ideal. Oh, that sucks.
What?
I don't know how that happened, but it went to the other...
The LOL client.
Yeah.
Which is not...
I have no idea how that fucking happened. That's such a shame.
Oh, goddamn.
Jesus Christ.
Did we still have audio?
The audio was there. The audio was fine.
You know what it is? No. It was us and the face cam.
I know the face cam was there.
Sweet. So it's okay. They
But
heard
see,
us.
we're back now.
They heard us.
We're back. They heard us, but that's really disappointing.
Oh, now I'm just concerned about how long it was like that.
Same. That sucks. Oh well.
Hey, there's a message from Bevan. The stream is all fucked up. Yep, yeah, we know. Thanks
Cheers,
for
boys. It's fixed now.
that. Oh,
Cheers, lads.
Just going to do another mock draft.
Yeah, no shit. Alright, I'm sitting on the clock here now that we've fixed that. That was really frustrating. Anyway, this is where I still look for running backs. I look for value. Adrian Peterson sitting there. Jalen Samuel sitting there. I really feel, though, that this is the area where you can take a shot on some really good receivers. And Corey Davis is a 4th overall pick. So, you're going to have to take Corey Davis. N'Keal Harry goes after that.
Where are we? We have... It's good. He said it went out when the Austin Eckler... When you typed in your Austin Eckler comment, that's when it switched. So that was only like a little bit. That was like...
That was only
5 minutes.
Yeah, that was not even that long ago.
That last round.
Was it the round before?
No, just there. So
it was literally the round before.
It missed my picks, but that's okay.
It was literally the round before. That's fine. I don't know how that changed, though.
So it was fine before then.
Goes to the computer.
I have no idea how that changed.
We didn't touch it.
Oh.
Were you typing?
I have 8 set as the hotkey to change between my...
Oh, nice.
So that when I'm streaming League, it changes.
Not ideal.
Don't click the number 8.
Yeah.
Bugger.
Notice that for future.
Better draft Eckler in the 7th then. Bugger.
Peyton Barber. Okay, let's just go through the pick. Let's just regroup.
All right, so
relax.
After Courtland Sutton and Marcus Valdez-Scantling.
2 good young receivers.
Followed by another 2 good young receivers. Marvin Jones is not young. Followed by a young receiver and a slightly older receiver.
Yes.
Then Russell Wilson.
Danger
Russell Wilson.
Corey Davis went to me.
Low-key sleeper in N'Keal Harry.
Very low-key.
Oh, I'm back on the clock, boys.
Peyton Barber to you, which I really like because he will start literally all year.
And then Bevan has just drafted another player that he likes. He's actually drafted 2 players back-to-back that he likes.
Bevan has drafted LaShawn McCoy, who will probably get dropped.
The freaking...
Fitzgerald Goff in the 9th is a steal. Peterson I was going to take. McKinnon.
I wanted Goff as well. Fucking NPC took my fucking pick.
Jalen Samuels, Damian Harris, D.D. Westbrook's a great pick. Golden Tate's suspended probably. Deshaun Jackson I love. I love Deshaun Jackson. This is the first draft.
Is it going to be a happy homecoming in?
This is the first draft that I haven't gotten Deshaun Jackson in. And honestly, if I was thinking properly, I probably would have taken Deshaun Jackson in the 9th ahead of Corey Davis. But I'm okay with it. That's fine. Deshaun Jackson's a steal. If Bevan, if you are watching right now, Deshaun Jackson is a monster. And I really think that with Bevan's team and the fact that Deshaun Jackson is his 5th receiver, it's a steal.
Pick.
The only issue I've got is the fact that Cooks, Cooper, Williams, and Deshaun Jackson are all going to be very hit or miss. Like, very 30 points or very 2 points.
This is a very either championship or last place team.
I agree.
DK Metcalf.
It's going to be one of those teams where you tinker the whole time. Anyway, then we have Phillip Rivers goes to you, taking a nice old Phillip Rivers.
Hey, you'll be fine.
That's all right. Let's have a look who quarterback I would have taken ahead of Rivers here. Winston, I have ahead of him. Roethlisberger, I have ahead of him. Prescott, I have ahead of him. Garoppolo, I have ahead of him.
I have Garoppolo.
So do I still.
Yep.
There's a lot I would have taken ahead of him. Kirk Cousins even ahead of him.
I might even have taken Lamar Jackson.
I feel like you took Rivers purely because you like him and you've had him before.
I like him, and he's just consistent. He's usually a safe pick, whereas I could have gone like Winston, and you're going to get weeks where you might do okay, and then you get other weeks where you're going to score like 2 points.
Can confirm, that is Jameis Winston to a team.
Exactly.
Correct.
So I was like, I'll throw something low risk for my first pick, and then something a bit more adventurous on the second one.
Now,
it's a solid strategy.
Like I was saying before, boys, yeah? Lamar Miller had 210 carries last year.
That he did.
Alfred Blue had 150, and Blue is gone. Deonta Foreman in the 10th round. If Deonta Foreman gets 150 carries this year, that's 10 carries a game. If I can play Deonta Foreman on a bye week and get 8 points, 9 points, potentially a touchdown,
you'd be walking away saying thank you very much.
And I'm also taking a player that could take the job from Lamar Miller. Anything above the 10th, I'm probably not taking Deonta Foreman. But in the 10th round, I think Foreman's a steal. The only other thing I would do right now is I would take Justin Jackson. If this was 2 weeks before the season and Gordon hadn't shown up, I'd be all over Justin Jackson, but I guarantee you won't be there in the 10th.
No.
So I'm going to take Deonta Foreman, hoping that he takes Lamar Miller's job, but if he doesn't, he gets a fairly good workload. Curtis Samuel, who I love, goes off the board after that. Jameis Winston. Old man Tom Brady goes off after that. You're back on the board with the double pick.
And I'm still stuck.
You're stuck.
I'm stuck because my team needs a running back.
It does.
However, the running back's there in the immediate vicinity, so you Carlos Hyde at 113. Not really doing anything for me.
Ideal. Not ideal.
Edo Smith, no. Alexander Mattinson, no.
Well, I don't mind Alexander Madison.
Devin Singletary,
Love.
love me some Devin Singletary. And using my extreme knowledge of fantasy football, I know that he will not come back to me
Correct.
at all.
In the 12th, he will not.
No, which is why I'm going to take him down. I think that's a good pick. I think by the end of at least halfway through the season, he's going to have an increased workload, hopefully resulting in some excellent games. Now,
I'm not going to lie, there is a PPR monster on the board here for you to take that I would be very surprised if you didn't take in the 11th round. An absolute monster.
I'm assuming you're talking about a wide receiver.
I am talking about a wide receiver.
I'm assuming you're talking about a Houston Texans.
I am talking about a Houston Texan wide receiver who is an absolute monster when it comes to catching the football. A monster. The only thing is the touchdown's probably not there.
No.
But you can almost guarantee 7 catches a game.
Absolutely. Or do I take Mr. Domino's Pizza? No, I don't.
Probably not. That's probably the last round pick.
Pretty much you took the words out of my mouth. We have no defenses and no kickers and no IDPs, so that's nothing to worry about. Yes, I'll be taking Kiki.
Kiki Cutie goes off the board. Emmanuel Sanders, Carlos Hyde, James Washington comes back to me. Probably looking at another wide receiver because I love myself a late round wide receiver. Even better than a late round wide receiver is a late round number 2 from potentially the Super Bowl favourites. Devin Funchess could catch 65 balls this year, I reckon. I think you go 65 for 900, and I reckon he could have double-digit touchdowns. He's 6'5", 6'6".
Bloke is built.
Monster.
He is built.
They're not going to target TY in the red zone.
No.
It's either Ebron, who's probably going to have double coverage because of how many touchdowns he caught last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Funchess is a steal this late in drafts. Between him or Moncrief, and I just have a little bit more faith in Indy than I do at Pittsburgh this year. Hooper goes after me. That team just kind of filling out that tight end position. Second last pick here, Josh.
Might have struggling at the moment, boys. Mike currently thinks that the third team is still picking.
That is not true.
Might just give that a restart right there.
Potentially. That is not what's happening.
It's okay, you got 59 minutes.
Someone is currently typing.
Bevan's going to fight me.
Let's have a look. It went away. Maybe it's Josh. Maybe Josh is... Oh, no. Moncrief doesn't even play for the Colts. I didn't say that.
Oh, good.
Someone's not even watching.
And I was going for the other option.
I think Bevan misheard me. I said I believe in the Indy offense more, which is why I took Funchess over Moncrief. I said I believe the Indy offense is better than Pittsburgh's offense. Just so you know. Just to clarify that. Just to clarify. Did I misspeak when I said that?
Not at all, mate.
I don't know. Someone's typing again. There we go. So, Josh, you took Moncrief.
I did.
Bevan back on the clock. If I was Bevan here and I'm looking at the board,
He needs another wide receiver.
I'm looking and I'm going to guess before he picks, and I'm going to say that he probably
Takes
goes-
Kenny Stills.
I love Kenny Stills. I really wish he
Everyone
didn't
loves
say that because Kenny Stills was going to be my last round pick.
You really do love Kenny Stills.
I love
You
Kenny
know something
Stills.
about him.
What do you mean? Even over?
The reason I
Parker?
love Kenny Stills is because I hate Devontae Parker so much. I think Devontae Parker is that guy who's meant to get all the receptions, but he's terrible. He's terrible at football, so he doesn't catch the ball. So they end up throwing bombs to Kenny Stills.
Who's somehow always open.
And who's going to be throwing bombs?
Ryan Fitzmagic.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be throwing bombs
Don't
to
be
Kenny
surprised.
Stills.
Don't be surprised when Kenny Stills goes for 40 points in the first week.
100%. Kenny Stills can catch 2 balls. Paris Campbell I really like.
Ooh,
I really like the Indy offense. Paris Campbell is an absolute burner. I think the thing with Campbell is he can probably catch 5 touchdowns and all of them be 60 yards plus this year. Edo Smith is a good pickup for when Devonta Freeman gets injured. Hawkinson is a great pickup.
After round 5.
Hawkinson's not suspended.
Is he not suspended?
That is Herndon.
Oh, Herndon.
Herndon is suspended.
There's too many.
Madison goes. Roethlisberger goes in the 11th. All these late round QBs. Lamar Jackson, Jimmy G. You can't go wrong with any of them. Trey Burton, post-hype sleeper, potentially. Anthony Miller goes off the board. And Bevan sitting on the clock here.
Will he take another
If
wide
he's been
receiver.
listening to me, you know who he'll take. But honestly, for him, running back probably looking like a little bit more of a necessity. And I know who I'd be taking if I was him.
There is still technically, potentially, a starting running back sitting in that list.
Potentially.
Potentially, if they sort their stuff out.
I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it. There are a lot of good pass catching running backs down here. Yeah, Justin Jackson is potentially a starting running back if Gordon doesn't sort his shit out. Paris Campbell and Deshaun Jackson with Bevan's last 2 picks. I really think with Eckler and McCoy, he really needs a running back. He might disagree. He's got 6 receivers and only 3 backs. He went and took Kenny Stills purely because we were talking about it. What a flog. What an absolute flog. Moncrief, Rivers, Peyton Barber. What are you looking at here, Josh?
Last pick, probably just going to go another wide receiver, I reckon.
Another wide receiver?
Finish
Stack
off
up
with,
on those receivers.
Yeah, finish off with 7 of them, I reckon.
That's a big, big pool of receivers you're going for there.
I know.
I know who I've got my eyes on already sitting here. If he goes, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Who we should take a gamble on though, boys? Who do you reckon we should take a gamble?
A second quarterback.
Second quarterback.
Yep.
Definitely don't do that.
Josh Rocket Arm Allen.
Oi, I'm telling you right now, there is a Domino's pizza sitting there in the wide receivers.
Shh, that's my last pick.
There is a player down there that's very similar to a Domino's pizza.
Very similar.
I'm very thankful Bevan was in this draft. Because if he wasn't looking at that and we had black screen second half of the draft, I would have been very disappointed.
Yep.
In saying that, if he wasn't here, I wouldn't have typed 8. So it's kind of his fault at the same time.
Double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword. He helped us. He fucked us. He took the players that I wanted. His 2 of his last 3 picks
Your
are
boys.
players that I take in every draft. I'm very disappointed. Joshy with the hard decision here, I reckon.
He's just scrolling down. Oh, you're not even in the right app, mate.
What are you talking about, bro?
Hurry up!
Debo!
Debo goes. Dak Prescott goes off the board. I'm sitting here.
Bevan loves you too.
There's a player. There's a player that I take very late in all my drafts purely because I love players that have already got upside, but then have even more upside if an injury happens to the starter. So Nyheim Hines, I'm happy to have 2 Colts in the last 2 rounds. Because Nyheim Hines, if Mac gets injured, Hines is going to be huge. But even without Mac injured, Hines is going to do all the third down work. So I don't think you can go wrong with that. So I'm going to take Hines. I think he's better than Dion Lewis. Delaney Walker goes. Greg Olsen goes. Tyrell Williams goes. Will the Domino's Pizza go last pick? Will Devonta Parker go last pick? He is a Domino's Pizza. He is one of those blokes who looks great on paper. He's the number 1 receiver.
He looks even better on my team.
He's the number 1 receiver for Miami, but he disappoints you every time you get him, just like a Domino's Pizza does.
Wait for you to be wrong, mate. I can't wait to see him light up the
Parker will be terrible. Kenny Stills is and I even think Albert Wilson is better. So let's just quickly run through all the teams. Zab, do you want to run through your team really quick?
No worries, no worries, no worries. Here we go. We have Saquon Barkley, T.Y. Hilton, Keenan Allen, Lamar Miller, Aaron Rodgers, Dante Pettis, Hunter Henry, Cortland Sutton, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Devin Singletary, Kiki Kuti, and the Domino's Pizza
The Domino's
himself.
Pizza down the bottom. I have gone with the Houston Texans' dominant receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. Joe Mixon a steal at 208, Kerry on a steal at 305, Woods at 408, the big boy Deshaun Watson at 505, Robbie Anderson, Latavius Murray, the Vance Dance, Corey Davis, Deonta Foreman, Devin Funches, and Nyheim Hines. Jish, who you got, mate?
I'm going for the top Falcons receiver who has not had less than 1,284 yards in the last 4 seasons.
Look at him with the stats.
Second up, they got Antonio Brown, Derrick Henry, Julian Edelman, James White, Evan Ingram, Allen Robinson, Christian Kirk, Peyton Barber, Phillip Rivers, Dante Moncrief, and Deebo Samuel.
Deebo Samuel coming up the rear. Do you want to go after Bevan's team?
Let's run through Bevan's. He has Le'Veon Bell, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, Carson Wentz, David Njoku, Austin Eckler, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Paris Campbell,
And my boy.
Kenny Stills.
My boy Kenny Stills. Please, if you are watching this now, let us know down in the comments who won the draft. As always,
It's me.
I think it's me.
Ah,
It's not you. You got so many injured players, I reckon. They might think it's you though.
They got 5 weeks till the comes.
Do you think it's you? Do you think you won the draft?
Mate, I reckon I'm top 4 this year.
Bevan might even think he won.
Bevan couldn't think he won with this sort of team.
No.
Probably not.
No.
Anyway, we do hope you enjoyed this. We hope you got something out of it, some fantasy football knowledge. We know you probably got some fantasy football knowledge out of this, Josh.
Bloody oath, bro. Got 5 weeks research to get going.
I am Ash. This is Josh.
I'm Justin.
This is the Fantasy Footballers Down Under. Please smash the like button if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new around here. Comment down below who you think won. Please turn the notification bell on when you click subscribe so that you know when we go live every weekend until the season starts. We will be doing a live mock draft. Then after that, obviously, we'll be doing other things. We'll make sure we've got our bold prediction episode coming up, tight end show coming up, sleeper show coming up, all that good shit. So make sure you subscribe. Thank you very much. As I said, we are the Fantasy Footballers Down Under.
What to do?
Have a good night.